power switch. CEMC is now giving you the option to buy blocks of power generated from clean, renewable resources, which greatly reduce air pollution. Each block of green power costs $4, which is added to your monthly electric bill. So make a difference. Call CEMC and tell them you want to make the switch, the green power switch.
This is the day the Lord hath made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Listening to great gospel music on WSGI AM 1100, Springfield's God Informer.
One street over there's a life I could have known, one beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today.
Let's go ahead and get started. This is 1100 WSG. I'm U-Turn LaVern, and this is One Street Over. What's happening One Street Over from where you living? And oh my goodness, perfect timing. I thought I was going to have to chit-chat for a minute. And here comes Miss Shawn Elmore. Come on in here, sister. So glad you're here. We have, we have to deal with the bus traffic and all those kinds of things. And I'm telling you, taking care of kiddos and all the things that you do. Just love you, friend. You look so cute in fall, and you just got the whole thing going there.
This was the grab something as you walk out the door because it's cold.
Yeah, it's a little chilly out. Mark and I get up and walk very early in the morning, and it's just one of my favorite things to do. Of course, on the days that I'm off, I have a hard time dragging myself out to do it, but when it's still dark out and it's just neat. And it was not as cold as it's been. It's a little bit warmer today, but I think it's because we got some rain coming in. So that's going to cool it down too, the little bit of rain and all that. But you just look adorable. All fall colors. I'm just in my school. This is homecoming week at Greenbrier. So
Happy homecoming.
Yeah, thank you. You got to pull up on that microphone, sweetheart.
Happy homecoming.
Yeah, thank you very much. So we've got a pep rally today. It's supposed to be out on the football field, and I don't know if that rain's going to keep us in the gym or not, but we'll see. We'll see. So kids dressing up all week, being silly, the fun stuff.
The fun stuff. My girls, that was one of the good times in high school, and I think there was a dance or something this weekend, and all my kids, or both my girls, were like, we never had that kind of stuff. So
well, it's our PTO that, they're just, we've got a PTO.
Stepping up.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, I'm thrilled because they did a couple of dances last year, and the kids were like, what are we doing? Because they had never done it before. And this incoming freshman class is just excited about everything. They're adorable. I have freshmen in my cat time, and they're just tickling me to pieces because I've got so many of them. I want to do news, Miss Vivio. I want to do news. Can I try out to do the news? And they just, everything we do, they're so excited about it. We did a talent show. They all wanted to try out for the talent show. So you've got that influx of these younger kids coming in, and it's making the older kids go, oh, okay, maybe that is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of looking back going, oh, okay. You know what I mean?
Out, yeah. Missed out on that.
Yeah. So nonetheless, I think it's kind of
refreshing a little bit.
It is refreshing something for the older kids, and it's bringing such excitement in to GHS. I can see a difference. And my husband said, he goes, it's the COVID factor. He says, these kids coming in freshman year, he says, they're not really remembering how COVID was. Mm-hmm. But our seniors, they entered high school in COVID.
Yeah.
Right after COVID. It was in junior high. My seniors can sit down and tell me all these little nonsensical things that they did in COVID to avoid, doing their online classes and all this kind of thing. And they're like, I went and got ice cream. Those kinds of things instead of sitting there. And so
the world we live in, as the world turns, wasn't that
so popular?
Yeah, wasn't that a show at one time?
I think so. It's been a minute, but
yeah.
Shawn Elmore's in the house. We have been trying to get on a schedule of a reoccurring visit, and for a while it was the first Wednesday. Then the principals needed that because we're just trying to adjust the schedule and stuff. And I'm so thankful we have everybody that wants to come on and share what's going on in their community and their piece of the community. And your piece of the community just seems to just go all over the place, really, because you're anywhere and everywhere. You were at our recovery fest.
Yeah.
I mean, you're involved in recovery court graduation. I see you there all the time, and I just love that. We've got a recovery court graduation coming up a week from Thursday, by the way, and of course, Open Door Pregnancy and Resource Center. All the things that you have going on, and we've got the big chili cook-off,
chili challenge,
chili
and thrill.
Chillin' what?
It's a movie theme. It's Chill and Thrill. So
Chill and Thrill this year. So kind of unpack that for me. How's it? Because it's happening. I know when it's happening because it happens to be on the day of my son's wedding.
Oh,
yeah. So I've got a wedding
Thursday night. Okay,
he's getting married on a Thursday night.
Okay, well,
so as soon as you release the date, I'm like, okay, that won't be working for me, but for everybody. And I
think you told me that.
Well, here's the thing. This is one of those things I hate to miss because I see everybody.
You do.
I see everybody at this thing. It's like a big old family reunion. It really is.
This year, Amy and Penny have done a phenomenal job. They are, and through the years, we've had such fabulous staff that have done this, but we have done the Chili Challenge. I think this is 17 years. At one point, I'm going to tell on Danny Ashley, but Danny Ashley and I were talking, and he was like, if you ever decide not to do that, and we joked about it, but we literally thought about it, and we started getting calls in June and July. What's the theme? We need to put on the calendar. What's the date? So we started doing the save the dates in July, but we set out the date a year in advance. So October 23rd, the way that the school system did it this year with the fall break kind of pushed us back a little bit, but we're enjoying the ride. I am enjoying watching a staff put together something that it's just an idea 1 minute, and God brings those folks together, the hands and feet, and so there's balloons all in my office right now, popcorn, big huge 4 and 5 foot popcorn, giant things in the office. So we're packing up, we're getting ready, and all the fun stuff. We had a balloon party on Wednesday, and I think there was probably 8 or 10 of us. It's on Facebook, but I just sat back and watched.
Shared it. It's on my page.
Yeah, I just sat back and watched, and some of the ladies don't typically come and volunteer. They're on the list, but we haven't done the training for this season because fourth quarter we typically don't do a training. But watching these folks come in and just pop balloons and blow them up, it was crazy. So it's a beautiful, fun community event. We just appreciate the community and the support so much. So October 23rd, 6:00 at the center here in Springfield. Come and join us, eat chili, come and compete. I think there's some tables left. I know there's some sponsorships that are left because, we will take them up to the last minute. But
right, absolutely.
So yeah,
I'm going to compete one year. Maybe next year will be the year that I bring out my chili.
Okay, I'm gonna put you down.
Put me down because I'd love to.
My first competitor for 2026.
Okay, there you go.
There it is, right there.
All my children are married, so we're not gonna have to worry about that. And my grandkids are way too young for it, so I feel like we'll be safe next year. But
absolutely,
a Thursday night wedding. Who does that? I mean, come on.
Well, your son. I was gonna say that's what they're people frugal. Are doing. Yeah, being frugal.
I'm teasing y'all. It's perfectly fine.
But it's fabulous. But yeah, so we're gearing up for that. I think we're gonna make some phone calls. So if you get a call from me, it means I haven't heard from you yet. So that's what we're doing this week. Actually, today we'll start phone calls. So
just say, hey, what's up? What are you doing? Yeah.
Well, judges, we get we put judges out there. I've had several people. It's so funny because I've had a couple of my judges that typically do it every year. They've got something. I think with just the shift in the week that it is. Yeah. But and then there's the fabulous library trick or treat that night, so people can trick or treat there and then walk down and get some chili at the center. But we literally have had the conversation of, hey, we need a few extra judges. I've had about 4 people reach out to me and say, hey, I want to judge chili this year. I heard, is that a thing? I'm like, yes, come on. So we have some new,
There you go.
some new hometown celebrity judges that are coming on
Oh,
board.
that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Well, my friend Muriel's available, I'm sure. So
She couldn't this year. She won't.
couldn't? Oh,
She
yeah.
can't. So
Oh,
she's
okay.
one that couldn't.
Okay.
But we're gonna have her replaced. But we keep her on the list for next year, so
Yeah,
they
yeah.
get to tell us. We have an ongoing list.
Is Judge Perry gonna do it? He usually
I
does
think
it.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Judge Perry. That's one of his things.
Yeah, I
You
think
know,
he's
so-
on there.
I gotta call him.
He may get a call today if he's not.
Yeah, because he usually does it. And, it was so funny at the chili, talking about just the different people you connect with. I had never been around Buzzy. I had heard him play music. I knew he was I knew he was this rocker, and I knew he had run for the city mayor and all of that. And I think it was it last year they were running for office? And it was.
I think so.
And I really sat and talked to him for the first time last year. And I was like, who is this? But it was at the chili challenge. And then of course he won, and I just love him. He is hysterical. He is so funny. And but nonetheless, I met him last year for the first time to really talk to him at the chili challenge. And I was like, well, I don't live in the city limits, so I can't vote. So, but anyway, is he going to be a part of this? I bet.
He may be on my list today. The girls have
Yeah.
my list at the office, so we're gonna have that.
Different folks. You
yeah.
got to call and confirm.
Yeah, lots of
it's gonna-
confirmations.
You got to get there, guys. I mean, unless you have a wedding. Okay,
mean,
if your
yeah.
child's getting married, that's a good. The only thing that can exempt you from it, because it is the best time. It is so much fun dancing. I mean, I was really excited about this year because I've got all my joints replaced. I can dance again. And so I just know y'all will have a lot of fun. Who's doing the music?
Tim Palmore.
Okay.
He's our DJ again
Fun.
this year. He's fun. He makes all the stuff happen,
Yes.
and this is his jam. So we love him, and he's come on board with us a couple years now. I think this is his 3rd or 4th year.
Yeah. And here's, guys, if you're not a chili person, they have soups.
Oh yeah, we have
Yeah,
soup
yes,
and
all
grilled
kinds of
cheese.
just-
United
oh my
Community
gosh.
Bank. Listen, they've been. I think I'll be honest with you. Thinking back, they've probably been with us probably about 13 years at least.
Wow.
Since we've been at the center. I know they've been there. We started out originally at the fairgrounds, and
That's right. I couldn't.
I think
remember.
we only went 1 year at the fairgrounds because we were packed out so much, and then we went to Greenbrier High School in the Commons area there for about 2 or 3 years, and then we packed that out to the point that we were like, okay, we have to find another venue. So we went to the center, and this year we actually have tables that are, and we had to do this last year. We have to zigzag them because we're just crunched in there. But it is so cool to just watch families come in and kids. It's just a night for a family, and I
really
think that
is.
it brings so many people together. And so we've enjoyed that. So I've got tickets, and we've got all the things. So it's fun to watch the little kids, and the parents enjoy that too. So that's fun for Tim. We have usually have some kind of entertainment type thing, and so
Yeah.
we'll just
Well, and we'll be pushing it hard. I mean, it's on the calendar here, and I'm not taking off next week for fall break, so I'll hit it off. I'll be in here doing the radio since I've got to be off for the wedding, and then Lee Marie will be in for the day of, and she'll hit it hard too. But
3 weeks. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, really, well, it's 2 weeks from Thursday.
Yeah.
It's 2 weeks from
Two
Thursday.
weeks,
so.
2 weeks from Thursday.
So yeah, so it's getting super close, and it's just always a lot of fun. So give them the specifics on the time, and where can they get tickets? How do they participate? So how do people participate?
If somebody wants to participate, they can call us today at 615-384-4673, which is 615-34-HOPE. And then we'll be getting all that stuff together. Being a participant is bringing chili. A lot of times folks will do a table and they'll dress up. So I know we've got some confirmed folks, but I won't tell you what they're doing because, a movie theme, and it's just really fun. So find your favorite movie, kid PG rated, obviously, and enjoy the night. So best dressed table basically is what we do. Lots of fun, lots of people.
So that's it. So as long as you were just doing something with the movie, it just doesn't really
movie
matter.
theme,
Any movie.
right,
Okay.
right.
Any movie.
Yeah, I've got
So-
got people that have called me and said, "Hey, is this theme okay?" And we're like, "Sure." So,
yeah, sure. As long as
if
it's
they need any
family-friendly.
family friendly,
Yeah.
any ideas that they need, they're welcome to call us.
Mm-hmm.
We have some really cool sponsors and
Mm-hmm.
wonderful folks that come around us, and some that want to remain anonymous. And so,
As far as the community that wants to attend, like if you want to do you get tickets in advance? Can you get them?
You
at the
can. You
door?
can call. You
How do
can
we
call
get our
advance.
tickets?
Yes, you can call and you can get tickets in advance. Stop by the office and we'll sell you tickets in advance. You can do tickets at the door. Our address is 1109 South Main, and you can ask for Amy or Penny or myself, Shawn. And it starts at 6:00. Doors open at 5:30. Typically by 5:30, we've got people ready to go.
Yeah.
Judging is at 6, I think. So we've got people raring to go. I've had somebody call and say, "Hey, can I get in early?" And I was like, no, we can't set up until at least 1:00 just because we're not ready for you. We have to. We wouldn't want to spill your chili or something like that. So
Right.
the center is phenomenal to work with.
Oh,
We
they
have,
are.
they know it's chili day, and they get us ready and we rock and roll in there. So we've got Happy Balloon Company going to do the balloon arches, and we've had Molly B Creative, Terry and Amy have done a fabulous job with all the graphics for this event. So it's just been really a cool night that everybody's going to love. So we just do that.
And go hungry because you'll go from table to table to. I mean, you will leave stuffed.
You
full.
get little sample cups. We
Yeah.
went back to the little bowl. I think one year somebody said we need bigger bowls. I'm like, that's not the point. The point is for you to go around and get a new bowl. We've got I think I ordered 4,000 bowls because we go through about 3,000 bowls at night. But we want you to be able to go through and taste different people's chili soup. We have hot dogs from we've got hot dogs, grilled cheese. The high school, Springfield High School, culinary arts class is helping us do the desserts this year.
Oh, fun.
They did it last year, so that's been a really neat little hey, let's do this together thing. So
That's cool. I knew that they always get involved in that, and they do just such a great job.
yeah,
And
Kenya's awesome.
yeah, it's just so much fun, guys. Again, can't.
Well, and
tell-
once again, it just brings back to the point that our community gathers together, and
beautifully.
it's just a good night to just say, hey, how you doing? You know,
it really
So,
is. You
yeah.
don't want to miss it.
And it's come and go. It's come and go. That's what I think. If you've got littles and you need to have them home in bed at 7:30, 8:00, we're pretty much rounding out the night by 8.
Yeah.
So we're out of there typically cleaned up and gone by 9. So it's really kind of a night, quick, fun. So
And like you said, you can come and spend 30 minutes to an hour and then go. I mean, and you'll have the experience, and you will have just a ton of fun. And if you want to get there the minute the doors open and stay until they close, and maybe even help out putting stuff away.
absolutely,
They
we'll take
always
all the
could use
hands we can
extra
get.
hands on deck to get that done
right.
as well. So it's just everybody just pitches in, and it is just so much fun, and it's always exciting to see who wins because there's a lot of competition that goes on.
Well,
There.
Springfield Fire Department, they've won 2 years in a row.
I know.
Which I'm like, wow, boys, come on, do it. So we're gonna pass. They bring back the traveling trophy, so they're
Yeah.
bringing that back, and we're gonna do a cute little video this week.
So here's the thing, though. There is a chili division and a soup division.
It's chili. It's creative. It's most creative, hot soup, and best traditional. So
But then there's a best overall.
best overall,
as
and
the
then out of
trophy.
all of that, best overall gets the trophy.
Gotcha. So does the fire department, do they do chili?
Uh-huh.
Or is it a soup?
It's chili. Yeah.
Okay. It's
chili.
always a chili. Okay.
It's not always a chili. I don't think that's one. I
one?
can't remember
Yeah.
17 years running, but I
Yeah.
want to say somebody's soup has won.
Yeah. I kind of think there's been a year that it was a soup.
But
That I
chili
remember.
is that
Yeah.
cracks me up because it's like, wow, yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. Is theirs hot?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I'll
see,
be
I don't
honest
like
with
hot
you.
chili. I like it mild.
cannot go around and taste the 50 plus things of chili. So,
You have to rely on your judges to tell
Oh my
you
gosh!
which
Well,
one's the best.
yeah,
For sure.
we have, and somebody said, "Are they professional?" I said, "No, they're community partners that come in
Yeah.
and their guts are killing them the next day,
Yeah, yeah,
probably."
yeah.
But I'll never forget. Diane Black was a judge back at probably number 2,
Oh, how
and
funny.
we only had like 4 judges, and we had to really up the ante and say we need about 20 and do each category differently.
Yeah.
So each judge, and then we have best overall judges. So there are some that judge, just certain categories. But
Sure.
there was a chili that was so hot. I don't think that at number 2. I remembered it was Jerry Duncan's chili,
Uh-huh.
and him and his son Hunter, and literally the chili was so hot, I think it scalded all of our taste buds. So we've decided, some people just don't do hot, and that's all good.
That's funny. I'll tell you a little trick. I learned this down in Mexico. I was at one of the events down there when we were at the City of Children, and we took the people who work there out, and we're in this little pizzeria thing in the mountains up in, I mean, it was just, and I didn't speak the language, and I'm like, oh, salad, and I'm eating, and they're all like, and I can't understand anything they're saying. And I thought what they brought out was salad dressing, and I'm dumping it on my salad and go to take a bite, and one of the women goes, no, 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 no. Because she knew it was salsa, and it was super hot salsa I had just dumped on my salad, and it lit me up so bad. And a raw tomato. They went and got me a slice of a raw tomato, and that did more than anything I've ever seen. So
Wow, slice of a raw
straight
tomato.
from Mexico, that was
Okay.
the fix for real hot. And they were laughing at me. They got a big old kick out of it, and they let me burn for a minute, and then they went and got me a slice of tomato.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. But yeah, and I'll tell you, it works. It
Okay.
works better than anything I've ever found.
Milk, bread, all the
Slice-
things.
Yeah,
Okay.
slice of raw tomato, just suck on that, and it neutralizes it better than anything I've ever seen. So you need to have you some raw tomatoes.
Well, I love
Little
hot
wedges.
food. I love
Yeah.
spicy food. I love very flavorful food, but
Yeah.
my gut does not like that anymore.
Yeah, it's
So
hot stuff, I'm telling
when you
ya.
hit 50, things change, and so I'm on the mid side of 50, but
Wait till you hit the 60s.
Yeah, I'm like-
it's all good. It's all good. I'm just
I'm just glad to be here. I
That's
mean,
the
that's
truth.
just
Praise the Lord. We're just
praise
waking
God that
up
we're
to
here.
another day.
that's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
I'm talking with Shawn Elmore. She is the director of Open Door Pregnancy and Resource Center, all the things. I brag on them all the time because I mentioned Mexico. When we first started going down there and loving in the communities and trying to change what they have going on down there from the inside out, I used to say, boy, if we could just do this in America. And then I got to know this lady, and I'm like, that's what they're doing. And that's what so many programs like Open Door are doing. We are changing the community from the inside out, and you need to be a part of what they're doing. There's so many ways to get involved, from volunteering to just monetarily. You can just put them on your tithe list and let that just be something you do every month or every week or every day, or just take them diapers, pay attention to their Facebook post, and when we have a need, fill that need. Just be there for them. How are things? I see your Bible too. I have so many questions. I got to do a sponsor, but I see the Bible, and I'm like, she gonna get some Jesus on us this morning. She always does, and I'm wondering if you got something specific you wanted to share. But I also want an update because we all know about what happened last year with the flooding and all
This
of that.
year, yeah, April.
Was it in April? It feels like it's been longer.
Oh,
than
I feel like
that.
it's been longer than that
It
too.
feels like it's
yeah,
been 2 years ago, but it's in the spring this happened.
spring. Yeah,
And y'all have recovered beautifully, but oh my goodness.
it took us until
Yeah.
August. From April
Yeah.
to August, it was a very long, extensive road. It was extensive damage. It was
Yeah.
171,000, I think, something to
Unbelievable.
something to that effect.
Unbelievable.
Of damage. So yeah, it's our insurance is definitely climbing. It's going up. We've doubled our deductible because
Yeah.
So the two things of our building is she's like a tank, and
Yeah.
fire will not kill her. It would gut her, and she could be rebuilt because it's all concrete,
Yeah.
most of the walls. But flood got us. It went up underneath the new flooring, so we had to rip all that out. We just put that in 2020. So one of the guys that was my contractor then was also a contractor now, and he goes, "Our beautiful building," and I thought we were all going to stand there and cry. We just had to
Yeah.
have a minute. But it is we're a double portion. We're better and stronger. I don't know how to explain it. We've had to basically I've done 2 complete renovations at this point. The drying units actually, when they brought the dehumidifiers in, it started pulling away the drywall. And so we had to have all of that fixed. We had to have all the wallpaper redone, all the flooring redone.
Everything.
Kitchen had to be ripped out. It was pretty
incredible.
major.
Yeah.
But, to be honest, the incredible thing was we only closed for about 2 weeks. It was 3 total by the time we had to move out. There was only 5 pieces of furniture that were left in the building. Everything was moved out into pods. And now we're back. So it's been a beautiful thing. And I'll just tell you, this time last year, we were running, 256 a month. That's what we were seeing typically. And the report that I just got last week, we had 400 visits in the month of September.
Wow.
We had a catastrophic flood and still ran huge numbers. We didn't have flooring looked awful. I looked at a lady and said, don't bring any kids in here for the next 2 weeks just until we could get the flooring replaced. But, it was just, wow. So even through floods, somebody said, what did you do? Our insurance guy wanted to move us. And we were like, no, you don't understand what we're doing. So we basically had the most incredible group of guys come help us from the Hope Center and help. Literally, my team in the Hope Center moved us out into the pods, and then we moved back. And, it was just a huge endeavor, but it was like to look back now and go, wow, that only took us, basically closed down. Like we would have to close a day here, 2 days there, but then we had to shut down for basically a week and a half. It was basically 2 weeks by the time we did all the things, but for our moving out, doing all the flooring and then moving back in.
Yeah.
So M&M hardwood floor was awesome. Riley, my little nephew, came in and they did the flooring and gave us an incredible discount. So, but they are incredible. If we flooded ever again, please praise God we don't. But basically, it's a couple of shop vacs. It's encapsulated flooring now. So, we did have to put a flow meter in. So I get these alerts on my phone, and it's weird because when the city generators or their water comes on, a lot of times it'll say it's a high flow or it's a high pressure, and it will, there's been a few days now, it's turning it off. So, and there's really nothing we can do about it. Apparently it's been going on the whole time we've been there. We just didn't know it. And it found the weakest link and just kind of blew that PEX.
So that's what happened.
Yeah. So, and when it blew, and the guy came in from ServPro and he said, Miss Elmore, this is not just a couple hundred gallons of water. This is thousands and thousands of gallons of water. So we're thinking it probably blew, in the evening, and then it ran all night long, and it was hard pressure. It sounded like Niagara Falls. It was just the pressure of it.
You walked in and you were like, what am I hearing? Yeah.
So now that it's done, it's beautiful. It's we're back up and running and surpassing anything we could have imagined. And we've got our ultrasound up and going. That is just taking precedence. It's really kind of a neat watching that segue. And watching, the Lord's hand in what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned our phone number, which was 384-HOPE. And, I think we were given that number. It was definitely something that God ordained for us. And that was something that I'll tell you about this Bible. I know you got to do a commercial. Do you want to do the commercial?
I'll tell you what, let's do that. Let's go ahead and pause and talk about Barry and Rebecca. We just have the one today.
My favorite.
Love them so much. He does so much with the videography and things. I'm sure they'll probably be there if they're available. They'll be at the Chili Challenge.
He's a judge, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, good. And they're just great friends, and love them so much. Up in Cross Plains, they've been here for 30 plus years now. We got here about the same time to Robinson County and made it our home. And we're originally from Kentucky. Grew up in different parts of Kentucky, but I always mention that because they have a special understanding of the folks that want to live in Kentucky and work in Tennessee, and understanding there's a state income tax there, and that's going to affect the bottom line of what you can buy. So they're going to look at all of that. They're going to, if you're buying or selling, whatever it is, maybe you want to be a realtor, just call them and get an appointment and sit down and talk with them about, what you're looking to do, what you're wanting, maybe you need a free market analysis on your property to see if now is the time to sell. We always talk about the right time to buy is today. always the right time to buy whatever you can qualify for, because here's the deal. They're not making any more real estate, and the property that you're looking at, it may be available just one time in your lifetime. And you've got to not let the interest rates dissuade you, because what happens is if interest rates are high, property prices are down. If rates go down, property prices go up. It balances out, guys. So it's always a good time to buy, and that's what Barry's going to tell you. They are always just featuring, you go to they have unique websites or unique Facebook and social media pages to see all the different things that they're doing, the homes that they've recently sold, the ones that they're recently posting, events where they're going to be out and about. They were out in the park for Discover White House this weekend. So a lot of these community events, they're going to be out. They're going to have a table set up and just invite you to come in and sit down and talk to them. Maybe you want to be a realtor. Barry famously says, I might talk you out of it, because it's not for everybody. It is for the riches, but they do it beautiful. And he goes, I'm going to be super honest with you about what it entails to make sure it's a good decision for you. They're part of the exit team, because that's the one that Rebecca picked when she first got into real estate, because she wanted something that fulfilled everything she needed to be successful, and wow, has she been. They've been with Exit all these years. They're now the Exit Prime Realty branch. They were with the Garden Gate team for many years, but they started that new branch in the Tree a couple of years ago. Exit Prime Realty is how you can find them. Barry and Rebecca Richards. Go to sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy BUYRobertsCounty.com, or you can call them 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Let them know U-Turn sent ya. All right, Miss Shawn Elmore is in the house. All the things that we could talk about with Open Door Pregnancy and Resource Center. I mentioned the Bible, so where are we going to go with, what were we going to get into right before I started do you remember what our thoughts were?
Yeah.
You said you need to take a break, and we both forgot where we were going, didn't we?
No,
You remember? Okay,
I'm going to be honest. So I'm going to tell you a couple things.
Okay.
I told you our phone number is 3-4-HOPE, and
Yeah.
we this year, Jenny Dusky is on our board, and I just love Jenny, but she's also been my person to do any kind of embroidery for years and years, whatever. Yeah. And I call her and I'm like, hey, I need you to do some hats, because we went on a retreat for the staff, and so I got them a hat here or whatever, and it was hope. So we did Hope Dealer on these hats.
Nice.
And the word hope just really is resounding right now. We're just seeing so much hopelessness in our community, and not just in our community, but in the world. And then but when there's so much hopelessness, God is on the throne, and his might and his power and his majesty and his forethought for us, his love for us is even stronger, because the enemy wants to bring us into that place of despair and hopelessness. So anyway, every so often, as the Lord leads, I will get a new Bible. And recently God really spoke to me and said to get this kid that prayed to receive Christ, a Bible. And I saw that somebody else had done that, but the Lord said, I asked you to get her a Bible for a reason. And I was like, okay. So anyway, out of obedience, I got her a Bible and gifted it to her and gifted it to someone else as well. But as I was shopping, because I don't have time to go anywhere, and it was like midnight, and I just threw it in my cart in Amazon, but this Bible came up, and I was like, okay, well, it's time for me to basically get a new Bible. And it's not for me personally, but something that God led me to do. And I did this with this young lady, is I'm very intentional. So there may be days that we sit in the office and a specific scripture, and this Bible will sit in my office and it will be open. Or it may come home with me and it may be beside my bed. But I have found, and by the way, this morning I'm breaking the seal on it. Did you just hear that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's like God said, you're breaking the seal. So
Yeah.
I wasn't going to bring it this morning, but I think God just kind of put it before me, because I was praying about what I just felt like I needed to say something about what the Lord's doing in this season. But breaking the seal on this morning, I took it out of the box, and it has commentary, it has all the things, coloring pages. I mean, I can get in here and doodle, because when my mind's always going. I mean, I'm up at 3:00 in the morning doodling in the Bible, but I literally just will get a Bible, and as the Lord leads it, I will just highlight, I will write, I will I will sow into that as it sows into me. It's just like this. It's just like almost like it's a back and forth conversation, basically.
Yeah.
And then God will say, give it to somebody.
Mm.
And this year, that actually, I had a Bible on my desk for probably about 9 months, and I had been highlighting, writing. I mean, just all the things, just journaling, doodling, doing some stuff. And this Bible was it was a smaller, pretty, just intricate Bible. And I was like, okay, Lord, I don't know what this means. But anyway, so fast forward in March, a young lady came into my office, and I had just highlighted a specific scripture. And it was so intricate how this young woman comes in my office, and just is very hopeless. And I thought, oh, I just heard the Holy Spirit just give her the Bible, give her the Bible. And I thought, oh, she's really not going to be receptive to this, but okay, Lord. And I said, hey, I think I have a gift for you. And we had a time, we talked for probably an hour or so. And I said, I do this. And I said, I don't know why, but I said, this is a specific scripture I just quoted to you multiple times. And I said, I'm supposed to give this to you. And she started just weeping. And she said,
Wow.
What a great, she goes, I don't even have a Bible. And she said, it's, thank you. And so we went through, and I gave her my highlighter pens. I do all the things. But sometimes God wants to give us a freshness that comes, like we were talking about, that refreshing, for that freshman class, bringing a freshness. And so I was as blessed going through and sowing into that moment, that I didn't know would take 9 months to get there, to give that gift to somebody. And so, I don't know really, how this is going to hold true. I don't know what's going to go. I don't know who this is for, but today we cracked the seal with you. And
I love it.
I'll sit and it'll be beside my bed. I'll color through it. I'll leave lots of pages for them to write on and things. But sometimes I write a note in it and say, I don't know who's going to receive this, but this is what the Lord said. And
Wow, what a treasure. What a gift.
Well, and it's something that I think as a young Christian years ago, I was in the throes of people loving me and sowing into me. And I was doing some studies, Priscilla Moore, so Priscilla Shire, Beth Moore, put those two people together.
Yeah.
Wow.
I knew what you meant.
If I know, but could you imagine if they were one person?
Oh, wow.
Holy moly. But, doing so many different studies, and the women that sat around a table with me, that sowed into the Shawn Elmore that exists today.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, if I could bless someone to do that. And this morning I was listening to a preaching. I usually put something on when I'm getting ready, and this gentleman was preaching on hope. And I thought, gosh, that's something that our staff shares really well. Sometimes it's hard. I had to call a young lady, 2 weeks ago and say, whoa, I want you to hear me. You've missed your appointment. This is happening. I can't continue to basically babysit you, but I said, you're a parent. You can't forget to feed your kids. And so we got to get a calendar here, what, blah, blah, blah. And she called somebody that we mutually know, and she said, I know that Miss Shawn is hard on me because she loves me. Mm-hmm. And then when this hard moment came, they were having another conversation, and I was not privy to it at the time, but I found out last week. And she said, all I can hear is Miss Shawn said, you can do the hard things. You can do the hard things. Mm-hmm. And if I can treasure someone enough to be a cheerleader, even as children, we crave to be disciplined. There's a discipline in you getting up and walking every morning. I'm not that disciplined, but you are. But to discipline yourself, to love someone well enough to get in the Word and love them through Christ's Word first, and then say, here's a gift. I don't know why I'm supposed to give this to you. But that Sunday, this young lady took that Bible to church, and she hadn't been in church in years and years. And that was back in March. And, life is hard. Yeah. Life is hard. And had I not had those people in my life so many years ago, I can't imagine the foundational person that Shawn would be. Because I was a mess. I was a teenager that I had so many things going on, and just not the person that I am today. I'm probably the warrior I am today because of where I came out of. I went to a women's conference recently, and I remember I was just in worship, and I was like, Lord, I'm so tired, and I felt the sweetness of God, but I heard him say, weary warrior, I got you. And this flood has taken a lot of just energy and just so much. And I felt like it was going to take so much from our clients. And I kept trying to be protective over our place and our clients. And it has only made us stronger, And so those things folks don't understand. We are in the battle of life, and this is our roadmap. Jeremiah 29:11. I'm like, okay, you do have a hope for my future, and you do make me promises, God, and I just, how do I get to your will? And sometimes we just have to have somebody look at you and go, hey, you're better than this. You have so much talent. Like, I believe in you. And those conversations sometimes are hard. So there's a young lady, and I'm gonna use her name as Hope. But her name is being Hope, but watching her for the last, probably 2.5 years, get through a pregnancy, get through and have a beautiful chunky baby, and just the text messages that we've shared. She is raw and she is real, and she knows that she can be with me because I can handle it. I can handle it when she just says, what the F, and I started laughing. I'm like, yeah, I can handle that. Not everyone can. And there's a staff member that I love, but she's like, she's really hard. I'm like, yeah, but you didn't meet her at first. When the first time I met her, the first time I sat in a room, she's like a viper, but she's come so far, and to watch her grow and to love her girls and her kids, and to navigate through an entire system and be restored, and her going, I would have never been able to do this. I have an exit survey from her when she did life coaching, which she literally kicked against the goad. Do you know what that means?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
It's like that oxen that has the, and he's like trying to fight that, that farmer to drive that straight line in that field and plow that field. And that field's a mess, but it's going to kick up the rocks. And she did that. And when I read her exit survey, I sat and wept. And I said, why'd you make me cry today? And she started laughing. And this was not something that she got to think about. This is something she wrote in 2 minutes, like bam, 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 bam. It was like it came from her soul. That you were talking about the culture change of a family. This girl has culture change, and it took a long time to get there. It took a lot of hard knocks. She was knocked down several times. I had to, one day we were talking in a room, and I looked at her and I said, I need you to be real honest and send this text message, and we're not going to, BS our way through it. And she's like, yes, ma'am. And she goes, no one's ever, I said, why is it so hard to be honest? She said, no one's ever told me I had to be honest like this. And she sent a text message. She crafted it. We talked about it, and she sent that text message. And I think that brought a level of just honesty and transparency in her life. I don't think she ever understood what that needed to look like. Yeah. And so, we are in the trenches. We do the hard stuff. A lot of days I've got mud on my knees, and my staff is phenomenal. I get to lead these women. I don't necessarily, like, they are in it to win it with these folks. I get girls that walk in my office that are in tears and are like, hey, this is happening right now, real time. And, sometimes we have to step back and stop something that's going on because it's not a healthy environment or conducive for a child's, mental health and well-being. But it's a beautiful thing when we can watch those turnarounds and see those families be inspired and change, or they choose not to. And that's their choices,
Yeah, but you're breaking generational curses, really.
Oh,
and,
really?
And again and again, we talked about Judge Perry, and he's a dear friend, and he says one of the hardest things for him to deal with and for him to see, because it breaks his heart, is when he sees multi-generations that have been before his court, and he goes, and you're just like, what can we do? And you just keep trying to break that cycle that they're in. And he goes, I've had people in my court that I had their grandparents and their parents, and it's just, it's heartbreaking. And he talks all the time about programs like yours and about the of course recovery court and Isaiah houses and the CASA. I had Leah in here the other day getting ready for CASA's big
Boo Bash.
Boo Bash Dash coming up next weekend. And so all these things are such a part of who we are as Robinson County, and we're so blessed because things are changing.
Well, and we are such
literally
partnership.
inside
There are
out.
such good partnerships
Yeah.
with us.
Yeah.
I think that's a real, because there's so much crossover. You know, like you were talking about recovery court. You know, we have so many parents that are, you know, we'll do their parenting there. You
Yeah.
know, and so it's great to work with recovery court. It's right good. There's so much.
Hope
you know,
Center.
say Hope
Love
Center,
those
our
guys.
boys.
They're
You know, our
just
boys.
so great.
You know, Safe Baby Court. There's
Yeah.
so
Oh,
much
yes. I'm sorry, I
crossover
forgot
and so much.
Tiffany. I knew there was one I was
there's so
forgetting.
many. Well, and that's the thing is the camaraderie. I think is let's bless each other. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, just there's so much. There's so much. So anything that we can do as a I guess a nonprofit family, we would
Yeah.
want to do that. But strengthening people, you know, and I guess sometimes, you know, I had to make a statement to an attorney, which I dearly love, and she laughed at me. She said, her word to me was, you know what, do your thing. And I'm laughing because it's a Greenbrier thing is what your shirt says. But
It's a G
she
thing.
kind of said, yeah, she said, do your thing. And she said, and I said, well, you know, I have to rip off the Band-Aid. And well, and you think about this medically, you know, I came from that medical, you know, setting, you know, when I worked in healthcare for so many years, but so many times, and I heard one of my doctors say, you know, rip that Band-Aid off and give that air. And because really and truly, as you kept it covered, it festered and and so that, you know, it abscessed because it was, you know, because you put all this stuff on there and then it, you know, it just didn't have air. And I think God wants us to breathe, number one. And number two, you know, we do need air, and you know, even those sores, you know, need air. And so, you know, I got to rip the Band-Aid off and just say, hey, this isn't acceptable behavior. You can't come in here and act this way. Can't talk to people, you know, like this, or you're responsible for this or that. And you just kind of step back and you're just in awe when you bring. And my comment to this young woman was, here is my standard. I don't lower my standard for you. You are capable to come to this standard. And the standard here is not, it's not so lofty you can't reach it. It's this is the standard. It's the median. It's let me help you be the best
can do
mom you can
this.
be. You can do this. You can do hard things.
Yeah.
And so that's where the hope comes, because, you know, this morning I've already been praying for this week. I've been praying for my staff. I've been praying for, you know, our people that walk at our door. How can we best bless them? I have a young man that, well, I had actually a couple people that when we had this flood, like I saw their character and their true nature. It was so precious when these women would say, can we come help you clean? Can we help you pack? These men said, Miss Shawn, what do you need? I had a guy that's a client that walked out of a room that got on a ladder to fix some things for us. Like, I had a guy say, you know, I can paint this for you if you need to. And we're like, well, we're not there yet. But, you know, we just like, that is the community that when we pour into these families, they want to dump and pour back because they want to give something back. And so it's just a beautiful thing. We've already got our date for our video, and we're working on those stories. And not to give a whole lot away, but there's a gentleman that works here locally that his comment is, whatever you need, when you need it. He said, whatever I can do to help you, because at a time when we needed it the most, you were there. And I thought, well, I don't remember us doing much for you other than just saying, here's some diapers or loving on them, you know. But to them in those moments, it was big, you know.
It was exactly what they needed, exactly when they needed it.
That's right.
I
That's
love
right.
it. So cool. Open Door Pregnancy and Resource Center. The Chili Challenge is coming up a week from Thursday. We're going to be talking a lot about it because you got to get there. It's going to be just the best time. And if you're looking for a nonprofit, everybody, guys, if you're not doing something in service, and I mean, you just don't understand the difference it makes when you're involved in your community. It fills your heart up to overflowing. You get back more than you give, again and again and again. Just do the thing and get involved in some way. Reach out to them. If you're not familiar with them and you want to stop by, I mean, when can people just stop by and get a tour? I know they can. For them, I mean, I know kind of how
It's better to call because
Yeah.
for the way that we have so much confidentiality
Sure.
going on in the building.
Okay, I
but
gotcha.
yeah, but
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of times we can get you in pretty quick. Penny's there, I'm there. Amy, bless her heart, she said, I don't give the Penny and Shawn tour, but she does a fantastic tour. But absolutely, there are folks that just, knock on the door at the front or the back door and just say, hey, we need this. Nonprofits, I don't know if it's, and I have talked to so many, everybody's struggling right now.
Yeah.
Last year it was the election coming and it was the economy. And that's what happens in an election year is people kind of go, whoa, what's going to happen? And so
Right.
they don't give. And then this year has just been a tough year. I don't know what the culmination is of that this year, but it has been a tough year. You asked about things, and it's so weird because we'll put out that we need things, and we've had so many generous folks giving, but we need to be rallied around as nonprofits. Like, I need a church. I need multiple churches to come together and say, we're going to do diaper drives, or we're going to do, we don't really do diaper drives as much because now there's a program that you can get some diapers and they don't need as many.
Right.
But baby wipes, holy Moses. We just had Walmart partnered with us and we had over like 130,000 wipes and they are gone. That was last month.
Wow.
Like our shelves are getting bare again. So we're going to have to go back. And so baby wipes, lotion, baby wash, those are commodities that we are like, somebody said, what do you need? And we'll get like some churches that will do a few boxes, but like we need somebody to come in and say, we want to stock you up. Like, because what's going to happen is Christmas is coming and then January will be here, and January is typically a very like low month, and then summer, because people are on vacation, they don't think about nonprofits. So about January to March, we pretty much struggle in all the areas of nonprofit, but it is a beautiful thing when we can get folks to rally and churches to rally with us. And so some of our churches, are going to get, some calls just because I'm like, hey, we are desperate for these things. And so we are, we're there, and when I tell you we've had 400 people, we've had 400, the influx, the year before we probably had, I think when I was looking at, our statistics, the average last year was 250, 280. That was, 286, I think, was our highest in 2024. 2025, we've consistently, since we reopened in June, we've gone steadily up, and it's been 388, 376, and it's wow. When we hit 400, I was like, well, wait. And I verified that. I made sure, and we knew we were busy, but we didn't know how busy we were. Like, it was just crazy. So, our nurse, we look at like what we have, our nurse educator, between the two of them, they have over 70 people. I think it's one has 42, one's got 30 something. So that's a lot. Plus we have our DCS and our private cases and things like that we're doing. We have co-parenting class, anger management. We have, all of that going on too. So it's like, it's just that, compiles. It's crazy.
I love it.
Never thought when we were in a little bitty house at 1802 Meadowbrook. So
Yeah. And it is just incredible, all the things that are going on and all the things that you can be a part of. And we just want you, if you're super curious about it, make sure you get to the Chili Challenge and you'll find out so much more. Miss Shawn will be there. She'll be busy, but there'll be plenty of people there to kind of get you acclimated. And again, make an appointment, come by and just see what they're doing there.
Yeah.
And just see how you can help.
Boots on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. And you can certainly help with your dollars. You can always donate. How can people contribute to the program?
They can go to our website, and that would be great. Or they come by and take a tour and bless us in that way. One thing I want to share, I know we've got just a couple minutes, but one thing that God just highlighted to me, one of our themes has been to love well, and then grace squared. So when you love a mom, or when you love that mom, or you love that dad, you're sowing in and loving those children. So it's grace squared.
Right.
And so we've said that, I think, probably since inception. But the scriptural verse that kind of backs some of that up is Ezekiel 18:4, when it says, for everyone belongs to me, the parent as well as the child, both alike belong to me. And I think,
Amen.
When you're loving a mama so well to teach her to love her kids, it's awesome. And some of these ladies and men come in and they already love their kids, but they don't understand the whole depth, or, the parenting tools. I mean, I had to put my parenting tools in high gear on Saturday with my kid. I have a special needs kid, and it was crazy on Saturday. We had an off week, and it was just nuts. And here we were, and so we get to share that. We're also looking at trauma informed care. We already do evidence based trauma informed care, but we're getting some certifications in 26. So several staff members. So lots of great things coming. Our bus, unfortunately with the flood, our bus didn't get on the road like we wanted it to in 25, but that's what our goal
is so
will be in
cool.
26.
We're
doing fun stuff out of there, but still it's going to be a definite tool to help our community.
Good. I love it. And all the things that are going on. I'm sorry, I'm getting some texts from my Greenbrier folks this morning. We do the news, 3 days a week. I sent the news out this morning, forgot to attach the news to it. I sent the email, said, hey, here's the news. Be sure and show it as soon as you get to school because we got pep rally. I forgot to send the link. That's what happens sometimes at 4 a.m., but I'll fix it as soon as I get to school and they'll get it. But, anyway, my friends are sending me. They're like, do you realize you forgot to attach the news to the email? I'm like, I'm on the radio.
Life is what it is.
I know. I'm on the radio right now, so I can't fix it, but I apologize for the distraction as I'm sitting here talking to you. I'm getting all these emails, and I'm like, okay, just a minute.
You're fine.
What are we missing, sweetheart? Anything?
I think just the goodness of God is and he's running after us. So he's wanting to pour it on. So praise the Lord. And we just received that. So we appreciate our community so much, the rally around us. And so, yeah.
Do we want to try to do this now the first Monday? Are we going to set that in stone? Try to?
I think we can try, but not every. Yeah, this morning was really rough. My husband being a firefighter, so those days I'm going to have to probably swap with somebody, but we would love to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to try. And that's the thing. We have these things on the regular.
Flexibility is perfect.
Exactly. But we're going to shoot for first Mondays. For a while, we were doing first Wednesdays. And again, the schedule got upended this summer. But, and just like tomorrow, we've got, usually we hear from the White House community, but we have Mandy come in, but she's out of town with the chamber. And so Bill Jones is going to slide into that slot to talk about the ham radio thing that's coming up this weekend. And then I'm hoping we're still going to talk to their city manager, but then the school board meeting's tonight. So in theory, we could have had Dr. Weeks on tomorrow. We'll have to figure out where to put him because he's going to take off next week. So we're just trying to juggle all the things. And I appreciate you being flexible with us, and give them the big invite one more time to the big chili cook-off and
chili challenge. Yep. Chili challenge, October 23rd, 6 p.m. The doors open at 5:30, $10 at the door, or you can come and buy tickets at the office, $5 for kids. And I think it's 3 and under's free.
Yeah, and you can have hot dogs and grilled cheese, and they'll have soup, and they'll have chili and a little bit of everything for everybody. You'll get to dance and have some fun. It is just a wonderful atmosphere, just a great time to just come in and catch up on the community and see all the folks that maybe you haven't checked in with lately. So you're going to want to be there at the center. A week from Thursday, I will make sure that Lee Marie, I know she'll talk about it. She's out there everywhere doing something.
That's right. She's awesome.
She is amazing. I just don't see how she does all that she does, but I guarantee you she'll be out with bells on. And congratulations, too. They had their ribbon cutting for Welland Square on Friday night at First Friday Night Market.
I love that.
Yeah, she's been doing that for a while, but they had their official ribbon cutting on Friday night. So that's cool. Anyway, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for joining us here at 1100 WSGI. And again, like I said, Bill Jones is going to pop in tomorrow. We're going to talk ham radio. They have their big training that they do this weekend. And I believe we'll still be hearing from our city manager from White House. So get ready for that all right here on 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a fabulous day.